Hey there, how there, ho there, it's Jeff Cutter Diamond. Welcome to another OOTP Legends League playoff format. We are starting the American League quarterfinals. Kansas City at Detroit, Yankees at Houston, Texas, Oakland, and Cleveland, Boston are all ready to be played. Their game ones. However, in the National League, we're going to be doing game twos as Colorado will play Cincy, Miami, Atlanta, Dodgers, Mets, and Phillies, Giants. Our first foray into the thing is game two of the Dodgers Mets. The Mets have a chance to go up 2-0 on the LA Dodgers and going back to Los Angeles. So we are doing a double header. Game two in the NL and game one in the AL. The Dodgers, you see right there, their lineup, and the Mets. Lenny Dykstra is playing today. So here are the starting lineups. The Dodgers have Hideo Novo on the bump against Tom Seaver. Tom terrific. The Dodgers have Jackie at second base, Matty Kemp playing left, Babe Herman playing right, Duke Snyder playing center, Steve Garvey will DH, Hodges at first, Pedro Guerrero playing third, Campy at catcher, and Bill Russell, not the basketball player, at shortstop. The Matros have Lenny Dykstra DHing, Keith Hernandez playing first, Pizza playing catcher, Strawberry playing right, David the Right Stuff at third base, Bobby Bones playing left, Jeff Kemp playing second, Richie Ashburn playing center, and Bud Harrelson playing short.
Strike three. 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 three.
Got him.
Strike three. Strike three.
And the New York Mets beat their West Coast rivals 2-0. And what a job by Seaver. Nomo did well too, 10 strikeouts. Tom Seaver was born in Fresno, so he didn't have to pitch in Los Angeles. But the Mets are now up 2-0. Seaver with only giving up 2 lonely hits. They will have the day off, of course, and then play game 3, travel day. The only hits were by Robinson and Kemp. The Mets only have 4 hits. Hernandez, Strawberry, Alfonso, and Hundley. 2 of those from pinch hitters. Keep Hernandez the hero, if you will. Alfonso and Hundley with doubles. Nomo did, well, 10 strikeouts. That's pretty good, but he still lost the game. That's got to bite. Oh, wait, what? Sorry, what was the time? 2 hours, 54 minutes. So that, okay, so we will have time to do Cleveland, Boston. So Cleveland, Boston will be done without having to cut into time. So we're at 1910s Fenway Park. That's where the Red Sox legends play, not at their current stadium. Rosen. They're going to put Keltner in at third base. Boston's got a lot of people. All right, so the wind's blowing up to left field. Gaylord Perry, the man of the spitball, versus Rocket Roger Clemens. Cleveland has Kenny Lofton playing center, Ed Morgan playing first, Manram playing DH, Albert Ring My Bell at left field, Colavito playing right, Keltner playing third, Lou Boudreau short, Johnny Holdup playing second, and Steve O'Neill will catch. Boston has Tris Speaker, the Gray Fox, in center field, Nomar playing short, the Splendid Splinter playing left, Big Pappy playing first, Jimmy Rice DHing, Leaping Lynn playing right, Pedroia playing second, Pudge Fisk at catcher, and Jimmy Collins at third base. So we simulate. That means that we will get, yeah. Roger Clemens, 5 push Jonathan like this. both teams with 7 hits. Boston did it. Clemens threw 7 innings, but too many pitches. They needed to go to the bullpen. Boston's 4 runs in the second inning worked out. Chris Speaker, who led the AL in wins above replacement. Well, he was good. 2 RBIs. Pedroia, 2 RBIs. Ortiz went deep off Gaylord. Clemens, 7 innings. Okajima, 2. Perry, Wynn, LaRoche, Lemon, and Pastano were the pitchers. 58,000 fans. So let's take a look at this. Johnny Bench, 2 home runs for the Reds legends. He's your first star. Tom Seavers, 2 hitters, second star, and Hideo Nomo getting 10 strikeouts. He's your third star. Tigers win 7-4. Collazo and Damon went deep for Kansas City, but Detroit didn't need it. Verlander beat the rookie Sanchez. Yankees Astros combined for 6 home runs. Roof and Manley from New York. Bagwell, Berkman, Caminiti, and Hidalgo for Houston. Jared Richard beat Joba Chamberlain because Chamberlain came in the sixth, and Billy Wagner the save. The A's Legends went 3-2, no home runs. Eckersley beats Cordero in the 8th inning. And the Red Sox win 5-0 thanks to Ortiz's home run. Clemens beat Perry. Bench does the job, hitting 2 home runs is third. Davis, Foster, and Larkin drive Vidence. Reds are 2 up. Maloney beats Sean Estes. Marlins win 10-4. Josh Johnson beats Necro. Infante went deep. Charlie Johnson, Lee and Sheffield. Atlanta, Marcus Giles. Mets with a shutout. Hernandez, Seaver over normal. And Philly ties it up. Lazinski goes deep. Carlton beats Mathewson. Huh? What was that? Anyway, Kansas City will play Detroit at 1 o'clock. Kuika versus Scherzer. Game 2, Yankees Astros. Babe Ruth versus Mike Scott. Is that the game we're what's the game? Come on. Nope. We'll be at Oakland tomorrow as Nolan Ryan will face Ruben Waddell. Oakland up 1-0. Boston up 1-0. Cy Young will face CC Sabathia. So anyway, LA Sizzles Carlton doing his job. And James Shields will be out for a year with a damaged elbow ligament. That is brutal for the Tampa Legends. James Shields was a pretty good pitcher, 13-10. He has a damaged elbow ligament, so he'll be out for a year. So he won't be back till the next postseason, if anything. So yeah, Tampa will have to play without James Shields, which will be definitely 11 months. But they said they'll allow it. They could dump Shields off, and then somebody would just take him as kind of consolation prize, but just to keep a roster spot. But whatever. So yeah, James Shields out for a year. That's brutal. But that's it. So the playoffs right now. Playoff tree: the Red Sox, Tigers, Astros, A's, all home teams up 1-0 in the AL. The NL, you have the Reds and Mets winning 2 games at home and going on the road up 2-0, whereas the Marlins are going home up 2-0 on the Braves, and the Phillies Giants are the only series that is split. We will at least see a game 5. That potentially might be the game. I think we'll probably put San Fran Philly game 5 on the network because it is the defending champions, right? Mm-hmm. Yep, I've just got confirmation that we will do San Francisco Philly game 5, right? Yeah, game 5 on the 7th. Game 5 on the 7th. Oh, it's in San Francisco. Yeah, they're up. No, sorry. Game 5 is on the 5th. My fault. Yeah, game 5 is on the 5th at 8 o'clock. Yeah, San Fran Philly game 5 at 8 o'clock. Detroit game 5 is at 2 o'clock. Okay. So yeah, so game 5 of the Philly series will be the one that we will do on the 5th, opposite the Tigers. All right, so hope you enjoyed. Anyway, I'm Jeff Diamond. I do